Hi everyone, welcome to the July transits video. This is Meredith with Soul Navigation. Welcome to my station. I would absolutely love it if you became a subscriber and you just clicked the little bell. I don't post too many videos because I have a really busy practice and it gobbles up all my time. So I post as frequently as I can, always once a month, hopefully twice a month. And I am just so grateful for all my subscribers. July is a crazy month. I'm just going to be honest with you. We ushered in the summer solstice not long ago, and that was really lovely. But July has chaotic, frenzied energy, and I want to share it with you because I believe that when you're aware of the energy, you can do something about it. I believe that when you realize what's going on and you have awareness, you can actually harness that energy to your benefit. So I'm going to tell you, July is a month to, if you can avoid surgeries, I would. If you can't, of course, go ahead and do it. But I'm going to give you some dates to avoid. There's just lots of volatility. I don't know why. Usually July is an awesome summer month, blissful and fabulous. But this month, I will tell you, at Baskin-Robbins, this would be rocky road. And I'm an optimist, and I believe in all good things. So take this news and churn it inside of you. Find the magician inside of you. Go deep within. Manifest and meditate. And really create something glorious out of the chaos. Because the truth is that we grow and we evolve more in crisis than we do in our blessings. And so it's through these crisis and tension points that we can really grow our character. So sit back. This is going to be a little bit long. I've got so much material. I have like 3 hours worth of material that I'm going to try to do in 20 minutes. And get your drink. It's really late here in Seattle, but I'm going to get this video out of me. So I've been procrastinating a little bit because the energy is just so intense. So let me just, let me try to do this for you. Whoops, oh my gosh, here we go. Okay, so I've got my transits up because I do want to show you. But let me just tell you, I want you to get out your notes because you need to circle these dates. Really, really important. The highlight of this month is 4 things, I think. We've got a solar eclipse on July 12th. We have a lunar eclipse on July 27th. A solar eclipse is a new moon. A lunar eclipse is a full moon. So we have the new moon solar eclipse, if you will. That's redundant, but I like to say it because not everybody knows. On July 12th. And then mark your calendar for July 27th. Those are really, really close eclipses. And they're intense. And they overlay and they overlap. And it makes July a major, major turning point. Also, Mercury goes into retrograde. And it stays into retrograde all the way until August 19th. The other thing that happened is in June, just here on the 26th, I believe, June 26th, until August 27th, Mars went retrograde. And when Mars and Mercury are both in retrograde, those are personal planets. And those are really, really intense retrogrades. So it's not like Pluto going retrograde or Neptune going retrograde. So, also, Mercury is going to go retrograde on July 26th, which is the day before that full moon lunar eclipse. So that's a huge time, and I want you to be careful on that day. So let's go through this. On the solar eclipse, which is July 12th, there's going to be power and control issues. And you're going to receive or see or experience or have angry behavior. There's going to be anger, and there's going to be misunderstandings. There's going to be breakdowns in communication. And there's going to be, on July 12th, there's going to be this powerful opposition to Pluto. So it's July 12th, you're going to have this new moon in Cancer, right? And it's in opposition to Pluto in Capricorn. And so it indicates a crisis with your identity or your self-esteem or your relationships or an event in your life will create a crisis. So on the world stage, you're going to see that peace negotiations or a unification opportunity will probably be thwarted and fail. So unexpected events, threats, and intimidation will lead to war. Now, it could be war within, it could be war within parties, it could be war within your community, it could be war within yourself, it could be war in your household, but it is going to be really volatile. Just, I would recommend, don't have a trigger. Just know that this is just trying to bring you a lesson. Just try to learn the lesson without the ego. Try to remove the ego. So with this really powerful opposition to Pluto, it is going to create this deep, deep fear of disaster and this deep fear of something is holding me back from success and happiness. And it may even lead to a paranoia. So your love life, your finances, or your creative work could be threatened. But hard work and determination to not let your ego be triggered will, and there's a grand trine that's going on that's very helpful, I'm going to talk about this later, will help you not engage in a personal crisis. But on July 12th, I'm just telling you, you could have a personal crisis. Now, I hope your day goes smooth, and I hope it's wonderful, and I really hope you're unaffected. But it's a very, very potent time. So just go light, go gentle into the night, and don't bring your ego. Now, the lunar eclipse on the 27th, if you will, it's really rare because it is the longest lasting eclipse of this century. Of 100 years, it lasts the longest, an hour and 23 minutes. And they call this the blood moon. This one's a full moon. This is on the 27th of July. And it's going to have a reddish tint to it because of the way the light is refracted by the Earth's atmosphere. So it will be very, very interesting. I kind of say thank God that we've got Venus in Leo from June 13th, if you felt the love, till July 9th. So Leo kind of helps us until the 9th of July because Leo and Venus is so royal. We take pride in love. We're generous with our money, with our time, with our love. It's a bit of a playful game, love is. We have pride and passion, and we have this strong ego investment in our love lives, and we feel adored, and it's easy to adore others, and we have sort of an extravagance, which is so lovely. So I'm going to talk in Eastern time. I know I'm in Seattle, but all of these times are Eastern, so you have to calculate. And sometimes, because it's Eastern time, have my wine, it's very late tonight. It's almost midnight. And I've been up all day, and this is my very first minute to do the video. So I just go. But anyways, so these are Eastern time. So sometimes if I say it's on the 27th, really, if you live in Pacific time or Hawaii time, it could be the day before. So just check your calendar. But these are Eastern time zones. So I wanted to give you that little glimpse of the eclipses. They're really, really big. The 12th and the 27th, mark your calendar. And then Mercury goes into retrograde on the 26th. So that's important. And Mars went retrograde on the 26th of June. It's kind of funny, right? July 5th. Let's celebrate this amazing day, July 5th. It is such a great day. This is like one of the best days of the month. The sun is in harmony with Jupiter. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that Jupiter is just such a great blessing. It's a jackpot for enthusiasm, positivity, self-confidence, and you should feel on top of the world. This is a day where your finances, your opportunity creates such growth. You could get a bonus. Sit back and enjoy this happy vibe. But there are big opportunities that really, really want to find you, and you will have a friendly relationship with everyone. And this is such a blessed day. This is a day that I would bet on myself. And we don't yet have the eclipses, and we don't yet have Mercury in retrograde. Mars is in retrograde, but still, this is a great day. If you have to have a surgery, if you have to take a risk, if you have to do something gutsy or courageous, this is your day, July 5th, the day after July 4th. So opportunities can come from personal, spiritual, and material places. Financial gains are going to be received, and you're going to be able to increase your overall net worth, your value, your satisfaction, your contentment with life, and there's going to be incredible travel coming up. So you might be planning your trip. So also on this day, though, I will say that we have a challenging aspect with Mercury. The communication in the mental sign is in opposition of Mars, which is retrograde. And Mars is your life force energy, your animation. It's your chi. It's your sexuality. So there may be some arguments, there may be some conflict, there may be some anger and resentment that's built up in words, like you might not mince your words on this day, and you may receive a blow from somebody else. You may think that you're totally innocent in the way you express yourself, but in actuality, you're quite offensive. So be careful, be graceful. You need to really meditate on this day. Go into a deep, deep meditation. If you want some good advice on where to find high quality meditations, just contact me, private message me, and I'll tell you. But patience, a bubble bath, relaxation, meditation is so critical. Do not be defensive and do not be spontaneous or impulsive in your reactions, because you're going to be. Think twice before you make really strong statements. So you might have like a nervous tension, and you might be really like on edge. So yoga, meditation, exercise, run, do cardio, and or if you can't do that, if you're physically not fit to do that, do the New York Times crossword puzzle, Sudoku puzzle, words with friends, chess game, do mental mind games for real with yourself, because that also takes tons of energy, and it helps you deal with decompression. So it's easy to have a temper tantrum on that day. I still feel like the previous aspect that I talked about, the sun in Cancer trine Jupiter in Scorpio, trumps this one. So this is the underlining transit. It's sort of the behind the scenes thing. Just don't rush, go slow. You can manage this. Now, on this day also, I told you this is such a big month. Chiron, the wound in us, and oftentimes the healer in us too in older age. So it's the wounded healer. It represents our wound, and it's where we will in fact heal ourselves, and where we get a giant awakening in this lifetime. We'll also go retrograde on this day, and it's it's in Aries at 2 degrees, and it's going to go back into Pisces. So this cycle is actually really, really good for introspection, meditation, like I said, yoga, going within, journaling. And it's when we can discover a new method of healing. It's when we can find remedies off the beaten path. It's when we can have a new discovery around what our soul needs to heal. So that's kind of beautiful. I wouldn't say it's necessarily simple, but I would say that it offers you an opportunity to really investigate new methods, new technology, new protocol, new programs, new systems to create higher health, mental health and physical health. So let's skip to July 8th. The sun is in harmony with Neptune. So this is so beautiful. Neptune in Pisces, the sun in Cancer. This is going to increase your sensitivity, so you could be very, very sensitive, but really it's going to increase your empathy for others. And you may have an urge to really help others or assist others in need. You might merge with the underdog. You might join a Big Sisters program, Habitat for Humanity, the Humane Society. You might donate to charity or a cause that you truly believe in. You might really advocate for an organization that is deeply in need. You're going to basically understand, have a deeper or a wider understanding of your power and your place and your contributions in this world. How can you be somebody's guardian angel? On July 8th, it's like the guardian angel day. So who needs you as their guardian angel? Who can you be a hero for? Who can you save? So this transit's also going to help you set your goals and manifest your hopes and your dreams for the future. This is also kind of having a strong faith and developing a faith. Your ego sort of takes a rain check and your spiritual outlook proceeds. And it also enables you to align with your faith and work hard to achieve your goals and your dreams. This is also a psychic transit, so you might actually, when the sun is in harmony to Neptune, this is a day when you can hear God talking. This is a day when you can hear your crossed over ancestors give you a message. This is a day when you can truly receive messages from heaven. So open up your ears and your eyes and your heart. Feel them, hear them, see them, because they will come on July 8th. It's also a day of enormous creative talent. So if you are a painter, this is the day that you want to have your showcase. This is a day when you want to go in and you want to ask the coffee shop, will you hang my paintings? They'll say yes. This is also a day of new relationships or partners that could come from a spiritual group or club. You could meet somebody at church. And if you meet somebody on this day around July 8th, a little before, a little after, 5 days before, 5 days after, this is somebody who will really meet you in the spiritual realm of your life, deepening it. Okay, so on July 9th through August 6th, Venus is going to enter Virgo. Remember it was in Leo, like, oh, so royal. Now it's going to go into Virgo. So now is a time when you're going to express your love through practical means, through gestures, through running errands, through doing the detailed work, for just being there in a very pragmatic and practical, hands-on way for your lovers. This is a time when you really want to develop a sense of purpose in your life, and this is a very grounded time. This is when we decide to, make pragmatic purchases and investments to fix or improve our life or our home or our loved ones. But it's also a time when we can really feel guilty if we don't do the right thing. So it's when we basically do acts of service to show expressions of love. On the negative side, we can become insecure and worry-warts and nitpicky in our relationships. On July 9th, can you believe I'm only on July 9th? Oh my God, I have so much more. We haven't even hit the eclipses yet. So on July 9th, Mercury is in negative aspect to Jupiter. So this creates kind of twofold, because it's Jupiter, and I love Jupiter. So it can, through a little bit of stress and a little bit of tension, it can create sort of a broader mind, and it can help you get out of your rigid rules, and it can help you expand your perspective, and it can help you sort of create a wider vision for yourself. One of the negative things is you could really be in la la land or daydream, and it can be hard to focus. You might feel like you have ADD on this day. So this is how you will also communicate. So you could get a little too arrogant, a little too brash, a little too brazen. You could be a little bit out of hand on this day. Try not to over promote yourself, oversell, and try to avoid people who are going to try to manipulate you into sales. Like if you go buy a car that day, I promise you, you will be manipulated. So It's like on that day, you can be a little bit too aggressive or pushy, or be a recipient of that. Somebody could be like a little too much for you, a little overboard in their communication. So try not to promise too much. Try not to go overboard with your commitments. Try not to be overly ambitious, because you'll set the other person up for disappointment. And I don't want you to be the person who's set up for disappointment. So on July 10th, Jupiter is finally going to go direct. And our confidence in ourselves and in the universe actually builds on this day. Our faith and our perspective expand. And so this shift is going to occur on the 10th. And it's like Jupiter is it's going to stay direct until November 8th. But I think you might feel a jolt of optimism around the 10th of July. So on July 11th, this is a really exciting, hot day. It's hot, unexpected love, and we lose our fear of taking risks, and we happily embrace all that is new. We're gutsy. We like the unusual. We like the out of the ordinary. We take risks around romance, and we're ready to experiment, but it's not a commitment day. It's just an experiment day. You will try something new. And that's the 11th. On the 12th of July, the sun opposes Pluto. So this is going to be a crisis day, I'm just telling you, on July 12th. You're going to have a crisis with your self-esteem, a relationship, or a particular event. So you might even self-sabotage. In relationships, you could be the subject of, or you could be the perpetrator, if you will, of manipulation, duplicity, jealousy, spying. You may feel like you need to spy on your partner. You may feel like you don't trust. You may have a bout of total paranoia. You may feel schizophrenic. You may have an outburst. You also may be the victim of violence, theft, carjacking, the destruction of your possessions, natural disasters. So July 12th is a pretty volatile day. Now, it's important that you don't be overly egotistic, dominant, controlling, or resistant to change. So change will probably be forced upon you around the 12th. Flow. Be peaceful. Do not step into your ego, and do not get into a power struggle, because power struggles will be the juicy fruit and temptation of the day. This also happens to be the day of the first eclipse in July. So this day is so volatile. Do not, absolutely do not have any surgery at all on this day. Do not take enormous risks with your life. Do not. Do not. I don't even know what some of the risks are, but this is not even a day I would go surfing. So July 12th is a day to really check out and go within. I would not go bungee jumping. I would not do zip lining. I would fly in a plane. I mean, I don't even consider that really a risk. It's like 1 in 1 million. But I just would not do anything that's really crazy, and I would not rebel. So the new moon on Thursday, July 12th, is at 20 degrees Cancer. So wherever 20 degrees Cancer is in your chart, this is going to line up with that place in your chart. And think of it like the San Andreas fault line, the San Francisco earthquake. Think of it like that. And then build a house right on top of that. And then this is the day it erupts. So what eclipses are game changers and life changers. So when you have an eclipse and you're deeply affected by it, it wants to actually change the course of your life from here to there. It's like you're going to do a 90-degree turn. So it doesn't always mean that it's awful, horrible, and a disaster, but I will tell you it is almost always challenging. So Even if it ushers in good news or an opportunity rather than the destruction of something, it is a challenge. It is complicated and it is hard. So it's not just some simple thing. Hold on. So what I want to say to you is this eclipse on July 12th is a new moon in Cancer, and it sits in an opposition to Pluto. And I promise you that it is going to create a feeling of restlessness, neurotic distress, and it's going to be triggered by your deepest fears that lie in your subconscious. So you might not even be aware of the trigger that is happening. But change wants to occur, especially if you're a Capricorn or a Cancer. Especially. But wherever you have Capricorn and Cancer, those are the arenas, those are the playgrounds that want to change. So if you have Cancer in the second house, that's your finances and your self-esteem. And if you have questions, you can always PM me. I'm super busy, but I promise I try to answer every single email. And I usually do. I just might be a little bit late to the game. Basically, this is asking you or telling you that something in your life really wants to transform. And this is telling you that something also in your life is holding you back from pure happiness and success. And there's this really blessed other thing that's happening. That's hard, but there's this grand trine that's happening. And it's going to allow you to transform your love life, your finances, and your work. So hard work and determination will unleash the potential and the opportunity held within this eclipse. So this personal trine can help you avoid that personal crisis. I'm sorry, this trine can help you. This trine is this harmony, and it can help you avoid the crisis, or it can soften the blow. So this is actually the ideal time to really get in touch with what will make you happy, what will make you feel like a success. Write that down, and I swear, pray, talk to God, and bring it in, because this is a transformative transit. You're not going to have this transit for years and years and years and years and years to come. So embrace this and harness it. So with the sun opposing Pluto, I know we're going to lose people on this day. I just know it. You don't have a sun opposing Pluto and not lose people. And I don't want that to be, but I don't want it to be you. So be peaceful. Know that it will pass. Know that it's over soon. And know that you're not crazy, but you may feel like you have an addiction that you want to confront. You may have a partner that you know is cheating on you, that you want to leave. You may know that you have a rigidity and a stubbornness in your life that won't allow you to apply for a new job or find a new home. Break those limitations today. Break them today before they break you. Because the subject of this eclipse is transformation. You may find that people in your life on this eclipse want to manipulate you, are jealous of you, want to dominate you, oppress you, rip you apart, or even kill you. Metaphorically. Know that. Don't let it be so. Transform for the better. Evolve your soul so you live a better life. Experience more satisfaction by taking a bet on you. Bet on yourself. Do what you need to do. Share with a close friend, a family member, a mother, a father, a relative. and talk about your fears. Talk about what you can do to create a better life and ask them to support you. Ask them for their opinions. Avoid the disasters by sharing your soul with a person that loves you, who can truly help you and see inside of you. And sign up for a reading. The work that I do is so transformative. It is so deep, it's life-changing. In 1 hour, you either leave my office or hang up the phone a different person. The work is so profound. I'm really busy. I'm booked 2 months out, but your money's always good with me. You never lose your spot. Grab a spot on my calendar and let's do the work. This is the time. If you have somebody in your life that's controlling you, manipulating you, sassing you, treating you terribly, sort of destroying your self-esteem by being ambivalent to you or thinking you're, okay, nah. This is a time to let them go. This is not a time to power trip, though. This is just a time to walk away and go, I'm better than this. So this is a time when you may discover that people are trying to control you. This is a time where you may discover that you no longer want to stay in a relationship that is sick, wrong, and unhealthy. So Venus, Saturn, and Uranus are in a grand trine. And let me tell you about this because it's so important. Venus trine Saturn. Venus in harmony with Saturn is this ideal transit for committing to a relationship and making a long-term investment, financially and with love, with affection and with love. And all your relationships can benefit from that. So this is going on simultaneously to that just horrific eclipse and that Sun-Pluto opposition. So there is sort of a silver lining. So I kind of want you to embrace the grand trine. A piece of it is Venus in harmony with Saturn. Work hard and you'll get paid your worth. Love hard and you'll receive love in return. Have integrity and you get extra karma points. Venus is also trine Uranus, which gives us this urge to try something new and to find a new stimulating romance or find new desire and passion inside your existing romance, and making positive changes in our life that add value to our life. And it's going to sort of help you do away with the old stagnant, stale aspects and of your life and stay progressive. So let's move to the 22nd of July. This is such a great day. The 22nd, Venus is in harmony, sextile to Jupiter. So this is like party big and make love. This transit is just so warm and fuzzy and happy all inside. This is where you bubble up with such good feelings that you exude them, and you share these good feelings, this abundance, this good luck with everyone that comes into your existence. You're going to have a generosity, a happy mood, compliments galore. You're going to feel adored and adore others. You're going to be popular and have charisma and charm. You're going to be looking good and feeling good and doing good. And, you know, sex is a great way to show your affection right now. You're going to be more attractive than usual. You're going to wear your hot dress, your good outfit. And this is a great time to go out and date if you're single. This is a great time to invest deeper inside your already existing relationship. I mean, this is genuinely mutual and beneficial to all parties involved. So this day, July 22, is so good. This is like a blessing of a day. And thank God we have a couple of these. On the 24th, Venus opposes Neptune. And so this has, you know, in oppositions, they're not horrible, they're just struggles. So it's like you could be deceived and confused at this time. You might fall victim to somebody who wants to take advantage of you. Somebody wants to trick you, dupe you. You might find that somebody's appearing more loving and generous than what they really feel to get their way with you. You might find that you invested in something that has a financial loss in it, a fake investment. Be very, very careful on major purchases on this day because you're probably buying it at a price that's not right for you. So you got to be really aware of how you can be deceived on this day. Now, Venus opposing Neptune can also, through great research and due diligence, and if you really channel and you focus and you pay attention, it's a day when you can really finance your dreams. So let's say you wanted your new car for a year. This is a day when you could actually finance your favorite new car. Or you could buy your dream home. But I want you to be careful and read the fine print on that day because it is a day of deception. It's also a day of indulgence where you could really overdrink or overdo. You could get drugged. You could get roofied on that day. So be careful with that. Neptune puts rose-colored glasses on us, and sometimes they're honest and accurate, but most of the time they're not. We're on the 25th of July, so let's keep going. The sun is going to square Uranus. So Uranus is asking you to be open-minded and flexible. And you might feel anxious and nervous. You may have a nervous breakdown. You may have a panic attack on this day. There's nervous tension, but if you can harness it, you can create the fastest, most powerful change in your life on this day. Like if you need a change, boom, the 25th of July is a day you can like bring it in a nanosecond. If you've been procrastinating, this is the day you want, like you want to write a book and you've been procrastinating, this is the day you want to start that project because you have so much open-minded, restless energy that it is so potent. Now, on the negative side, you can be too abrupt, too rash, you can change lanes too quickly, you can get into a car accident, you can get into an accident, you can make a grave mistake very, very quickly by impulse. Do not cross the street without looking. Do not cross the street while texting. Do not text and drive on this day. So Sun square Uranus means accidents, but it also means flights of brilliance. So you do not want to be late on this day because you don't want to have a self-induced panic or stress. So be extra slow. Take whatever is on your I'm talking to myself, by the way. Whatever is on your calendar, take half of it off and do just half. And you'll do half fairly well. But everything on your calendar on that day, it's too much. It's reckless. So I got to go look at my calendar on the 25th because I'm already totally slammed and booked. So I'll see what's on there. But you do the same. So on the 26th, Mercury goes into retrograde. Wah, 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 boo, hiss. I don't like Mercury in retrograde. I don't like new commitments under Mercury in retrograde. I don't like this transit for new beginnings and new starts. If you've already started something, it's okay. But a new beginning, a new start, a new job, a new relationship, I don't like this. I don't want you to start a new relationship in Mercury in retrograde. So if you're single, do not date. If you've already met the guy or the girl and you're already in a relationship, that's fine. But if you haven't, please do not have your first date between July 26th and August 19th. No, no, no. It won't work. People think I'm kind of a toughie on this. They think that I'm a little bit of a cynic. I've done 85,000 readings. I stopped counting about 4 years ago. So now it's probably, I don't know, at 110. And I've never seen a relationship work out well. It's plagued with problems if you meet inside of Mercury in retrograde. You set yourself up for 1,000 challenges that personally you don't deserve. It's just wrought and riddled, pockmarked with challenge after challenge after challenge after challenge after challenge after challenge. It'll drive you into Nutsoville. I mean, it'll just drive you into madness. You don't deserve that. Just wait. Make your date, after Labor Day weekend. That's perfect. And if you do have the most glorious relationship on the planet and you met inside Mercury in retrograde, write me and tell me. because I'd love to know you. I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong, so prove me wrong, please. So, by the way, you're going to start feeling the effects of Mercury in retrograde on July 7th, because that's when Mercury starts slowing down. But it really does take place not until July 26th. I know it's long, and it doesn't really count until July 26th. So you can go on a date. You can go on a first date. You can get married all the way up until July 26th. Do not get married in Mercury in retrograde, July 26th through August 19th. If you do get married, I hope you dated for a really long time and your relationship is so solidified and you feel so confident. I'm less worried about getting married in Mercury in retrograde than I am a first date. I'll tell you that. I still wouldn't pick that date for myself, but I'm less worried. On the 27th, the Sun is opposing Mars. So this increases your level of assertiveness and I do believe if you harness it right, you can achieve your dreams and your goals, and you can really get into your strongest desires. You can compete and be successful. You're forced to sort of fight for your right. You're sort of forced to fight for what you want. This is going to require tact and patience and a subtle approach to succeed, not an in-your-face bully, even though your instincts will probably be like guns a-blazing. And you will find that people resist you and that you have a lot of opposition and competition out of the blue. And so you need to tone down your ego again and your level of aggression or assertiveness, and you need to be calm, stay graceful, and not become irritable and not become angry and not become jealous. Irritable, angry, jealous. Those three emotions are going to bubble up underneath this transit. So somebody's going to trigger you and push your buttons. You just stay calm. Now, you may also be the trigger for somebody else. So people are going to try to dominate you and assert their power over you at this time, July 27th. Let them. I'm not saying let them take advantage of you. It's like, be indifferent to it. Like, whatever, I don't care. Be unaffected. And when you're unaffected, they really can't win with you. So I feel like there may be an attack on your ego. There may be an attack on your life. And handle it with grace and dignity. There may be a lover competing with you, a co-worker competing with you, or a man in a pseudo-authoritative position. So maybe a man that's stronger than you, but he's not really, but physically he is. They may really create challenge and tension in your life, increasing this sense of competition. And so be open, graceful, honest, kind, and walk away. So it's almost like be peaceful. Harness the peace. So on July 27th, we have the full moon. And it's really interesting because we have this total lunar eclipse. We have this full moon in Aquarius. And that is Leo. July 27th is Leo. Leo Sun, Aquarius Moon. So if you are a Leo Aquarius of any sorts, this is big. This is huge for you. Your identity is going to shift. Remember that eclipses are like new moons and full moons on steroids. And so they create life changes, enormous life changes. So let's look at this. Mars, I want to go, forgive me for a minute, I just want to go pull up this chart, and I hope that I can, hold on, 4 days, hold on, let me just look at this. I just want to look at this day. Here we go. because I want to be able to talk about this thoroughly with the chart. Yeah. So the sun is opposing the moon, and it's also opposing Mars. So you have Mars in Aquarius, right, retrograde, and the sun is in Leo, and the moon is in Aquarius. And so there's going to be this reckless, harsh energy. It's going to be very hard to stay calm. And there's going to be aggression and emotional issues and problems, and you're going to fight with people that you love, or they're going to fight with you. And it's this overly emotional time. So really go slow. How you can control this and manage it is go in slow motion. So it's really important during the 12th through the 27th that you just master grace. And I think this is going to affect your self-esteem, your life force energy. I think you may receive bad news. I think that you're going to get a huge challenge in your life to deal with, just an enormous challenge. And, you know, my mama always said, it's not about never having bad news. Life is not about never having bad news. Life is never about not having a challenge. Life is about how you manage the bad news and how you manage the challenge. So don't let yourself spin out. It's going to be a distress time. If not for you, for somebody in your life that you love, which sometimes is even more painful. When my brother or my sister or my daughter or my mother or my father or my boyfriend or my loved one is hurting, I'm in agony because I love them. Or my nephew or my niece. And this is a time when you will be tested. So I talked about it a little bit at the beginning, but this is a time where there's a crisis with your self-esteem, your self-worth, your identity, your roots, your family, your heritage, your concept of love. And there's going to be an imbalance in your emotions. Just accept it, move through it, and go slow. So July 27th is this eclipse. There's this one really good aspect on that day, and that's Venus is going to trine Pluto. And what is so fascinating about that is I actually think Venus trine Pluto, let me see this, it's exact. So Venus in Virgo trine Pluto in Capricorn. That is so sexy. It is the hottest love day of the month. So the remedy for that eclipse is love. Sizzling love. Sizzling, 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 obsessive, like, oh my God, ecstatic love. That day can usher in love that will transform you. I mean, that could be your outlet to, it's so interesting that we have this crisis eclipse, and then we also have the most incredible, ecstatic, ecstasy love day, Venus trine Pluto. It is power love. So love people well on that day and you'll survive it. You might even go unscathed. So all of July, Mars is in retrograde. All of July, because it started June 26th and it goes till August 27th. And it starts retrograde in Aquarius, and then it goes retrograde in Capricorn. So Aquariuses and Capricorns are really affected. They're really being asked to reflect, regenerate, and recreate, and meditate, and go within. So that's absolutely critical. Don't forget about Mercury in retrograde. Mark your dates. And then the two eclipses. It is a huge month. We basically have 2 easy days, and the rest is challenging. So what I would say about this month is it's a character building month. It's a month when you really sink into grace, when you're being asked to have more patience than usual, when you're being asked to shed the ego, when you're being asked to transform yourself. And I speak to myself too. We're all human. We're all on this planet having a human experience. Help others. Others are not going to do these transits as well as you, and that will affect you. We're all connected. And our vibration, you've seen it more than ever in the last 2 years. When one of us is not good, it ricochets and creates a reverberation that affects a larger pool of people. So the opposite works. When you are a source of love, you motivate, inspire, and empower others to be the same. When somebody is nice to you, when somebody bought me a Starbucks and did the pay it forward in the line, automatically I wanted to buy the person behind me their drink. So think about that. Pay it forward in July so we as a collective can survive this volatile, life-changing month. July is here, ushered in. This energy is ushered in July to change us. And it creates enough crisis where it asks us to do or die. And I'm going to do. So either to rise up or to self-implode, self-sabotage. So rise up. I encourage you. We can do it. We just have to pour love and grace and beauty and harmony and diplomacy and patience and kindness and integrity and authenticity and vulnerability and humility into the world. And you can do it. Help me do it. Thank you for listening to my video. It was so long. This almost took an hour. Oh my God. I knew it was going to be long. Hopefully August will just be filled with blessings. But I wish you a very beautiful July. Please subscribe to my station. Thank you for being here with me. I'm so grateful. And if you have any questions or comments, I would absolutely love it if you would put them below. I answer every single one of them. Take good care. And if you want to book a reading, Meredith at Soul Navigation. So just go to Soul Navigation, SOUL navigation.com, and click the Book a Reading with Meredith button and get your reading with me. It's absolutely life-changing.